Hola mi gente, MsMalcolmHughes here. Welcome back. Today I am coming to tell you all about some of the newest books in my collection. So let's just get right into it. First up, we have a book by the writer of Ace of Spades. If you're not familiar with who that is Farida Abike Yemire. And we have her newest work, Where Sleeping Girls Lie. I was actually fortunate enough to see her in DC, and I have a signed copy of the book. But let's get into the description. Sadeh Hussein is starting her third year of high school, this time at the prestigious Alfred Nobel Academy boarding school, after being homeschooled. Misfortune has been a constant companion throughout her life, but even Sadeh doesn't expect her new roommate, Elizabeth, to disappear after Sadeh's first night. Or for people to think she has something to do with it. That would be very annoying, honestly. With rumors swirling around her, Sadeh catches the attention of the girls collectively known as the Unholy Trinity, and they bring her into their fold. What is the Unholy Okay. Between learning more about them, especially Persephone, who Sadeh is inexplicably drawn to, and playing catch-up in class, Sadeh already has so much on her plate. But when it seems people don't care enough about what happened to Elizabeth, it's up to her and Elizabeth's best friend, Boz, to investigate. And then a student is found dead. As Sadeh and Boz keep trying to figure out what's going on, Sadeh realizes there's more to Alfred Nobel Academy and its students than she thought. Secrets lurk around every corner, and beneath every surface, secrets that rival even her own. Okay, this sounds good. It also comes with this cool postcard, and so it's really nice. It's a nice touch. I actually have something exciting coming for this book. I'll be talking about that on the channel soon, but stay tuned. Next up is a book that I've only been hearing like amazing reviews of, with people saying that like this book gutted me. I cried. It was beautiful and devastating. And that is In Memoriam by Alice Wynn. I actually want to thank the publisher for sending this over. Vintage Books, I appreciate that. Let's get into the description. It's 1914, and World War I is churning through young men on both sides of the fight. The front feels far away to Henry Gaunt, Sidney Elwood, and the rest of their classmates, safely ensconced in their idyllic boarding school in the English countryside. They are busy with Greek lessons, debate society, and playing witty pranks on one another. News of the heroic deaths of their friends only makes the war more exciting. Yikes. Meanwhile, Gaunt has been consumed by a private dilemma, an infatuation with his best friend, the glamorous, charming Elwood, without a clue that Elwood is pining for him in return. Okay. Gaunt enlists, relieved to escape his overwhelming feelings for Elwood, but to Gaunt's horror, Elwood rushes to join him at the front, and the rest of their classmates soon follow. Wow. Now death surrounds them, often inches away, and no one knows who will be next. An epic tale of forbidden romance and devastating tragedy that manages also to be sparkling and full of life, In Memoriam is a breathtaking debut. This, I remember reading the description and thinking it sounds amazing. Like I said, I've only heard amazing and brilliant things about the work, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. Seems like it'll probably be heartbreaking because, as you know, war from an abstract, distant place when you're young may seem exciting for some, but up close and personal, it definitely looks very different. So know that this is gonna be tragic at the very least. So looking forward to seeing how she unpacks this story. Next up is one you've probably seen all over the internet from an author who is familiar to most, and that is James by Percival Everett. This is a recent updated telling of Huckleberry Finn from the perspective of James. So let's get into the description. When Jim overhears that he is about to be sold to a man in New Orleans, separated from his wife and daughter forever, he runs away while he can formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Huck has faked his own death to escape his violent father. As all readers of American literature know, Thus begins the dangerous and transcendent journey by raft down the Mississippi River toward the elusive and unreliable promise of the free states and beyond. Brimming with the electrifying humor and lacerating observations that have made Everett a literary icon, this brilliant and tender novel radically illuminates Jim's agency, intelligence, and compassion as never before. James is destined to be a major publishing event and a cornerstone of 21st century American literature. And that last part is all I've been hearing about this work. The reviews coming in, those initial reviews are really good. People are raving about it. So I'm excited to read it. I will be reading Huckleberry Finn before I read this. Even though these are new tellings and I know they're standalones and you don't need that context, I always find it important to read the original first, just so you can have that, just the understanding and be able to make a solid comparison between the two. And to know like where the author is taking the story and from whence it came. So I think that's important, but this will be coming in the future. Next up, we have an author who is new to me, but Edwidge Danticat, who I adore and love, says, "Sublime, a striking and formidable novel by one of the most brilliant writers and storytellers." So that's a big endorsement. I trust Edwidge Danticat, so I wanted to check this writer out, and that is none other than Miriam J.A. Chauncey in her book, What Storm, What Thunder. And here's the description. At the end of a long, sweltering day, as markets and businesses begin to close for the evening, an earthquake of 7.0 magnitude shakes the capital of Haiti, Port-au-Prince. Award-winning author Miriam J.A. Chauncey masterfully charts the inner lives of the characters affected by the disaster. Richard, an expat and wealthy water bottling executive with a secret daughter. The daughter, Anne, an architect who drafts affordable housing structures for a global NGO. A small-time drug trafficker, Leopold, who pines for a beautiful call girl, Sonia, and her business partner, Dieudonne, I may have mispronounced that, who are followed by a man they believe is the voodoo spirit of death, Didier, an immigrant musician who drives a taxi in Boston, Sarah, a mother haunted by the ghost of her children in an IDP camp, her husband, Olivier, an accountant forced to abandon his wife he loves, their son, Jonas, who haunts them both, and Malu, the old woman selling produce in the market who remembers them all. Artfully weaving together these lives, Chauncey bears witness to the desolation wreaked by nature and by man. Brilliantly crafted, fiercely imagined, and deeply haunting, What Storm, What Thunder is a singular, stunning record, a reckoning of the heartbreaking trauma of disaster, and, at the same time, an unforgettable testimony to the tenacity of the human spirit. And so this sounded amazing to me. I really want to get more into like Caribbean and Haitian writers. Like I said, Edwidge Danticat, I've read a number of her works and love them all. So this came highly recommended. It sounds amazing. If you've been watching the channel, you know people work and dissecting people is something that I appreciate so much in literature. And so I'm looking forward to getting into this sooner rather than later. Next up is a book that you all would have heard me discuss here on the channel if you watched my January books that I was most excited about, the new releases. And that is Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. If you didn't see it here, you may have seen it floating around. A lot of people have been saying great things about it again. I was able to get a signed first edition, so excited about that. But let's get into the description. Cyrus Shams, the novel's hero, is a young man grappling with an inheritance of violence and loss. A mother whose plane was shot down over the skies of the Persian Gulf in a senseless accident, and a father whose life in America was circumscribed by killing chickens on a factory farm in the Midwest. Cyrus is a drunk, an addict, and a poet whose obsession with martyrs leads him into the mysteries of his past, toward an uncle who rode through Iranian battlefields dressed as the angel of death to inspire and comfort the dying, and toward his mother, through a painting discovered in a Brooklyn art gallery that suggests she might not have been who or what she seemed. Cyrus is guided on his journey by the voices of artists, poets, and kings, and delivered in the novel's unforgettable final pages to a world that teems with unforeseen wonders. Martyr is a work of gut-wrenching anguish and exquisite consolation, a book that sees into every corner of the human heart, that faces down shame and despair, and emerges with a vision of humanity that is capacious and full of grace, an astonishing debut. So I remember really liking the description, really liking what I've seen of the author talk, so really wanting to check this one out and get into it. So again, hopefully this is one I get to read sooner rather than later. So these are the books that I wanted to come and share with you all. Let me know if y'all have read them down below. Let me know if you're looking forward to reading them. Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's it for me today. As always, I'm MsMalcolmHughes, one who believes that books are sometimes better than people. And until the next one, please remember to give time, to be kind to each other, and to have the very best day of your life on purpose. Peace. O double. Adios. Ciao.